Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Oh God. All right. You know what? To me, today is a fun stream, a good stream, because I like talking about this subject. Why people come here, or they say they'll come here, and then they don't, or they come here and they're like here for a month, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move here, and then after like another 2 weeks, or they go back home because they don't really live here. There's a big difference between living here and visiting. Now you got guys like Dowlow, and to a lesser extent, maybe two quarters Korean, and some other guys that come over here. They come over here for a couple of months, 6 months, and then they go back home. Okay, they got two residences. They live in two places. And of course, what got me on this subject is all these celebrities who say they're gonna move if Trump wins. They're gonna move. If their girl doesn't get elected. And then I think about it, and I think about all the people that when I first moved here, I remember all these people. Most of them, I don't think they're still around. I'm talking about 9/10 of the people that said they lived here before when I first moved here. 9/10 of them, 8/10 of them, whatever, 80, 90%, they're gone. They're living somewhere else. I knew one guy. Uh, he was a scumbag. He died, but he was a scumbag. And he like ran some bar. He was like a manager of a bar. He's making like $1,000 a month or something. He was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna live here forever. He did because he ended up dying when he was 60 years old. But he used to get these girls that were down in their luck, and they just wanted somebody to love them, and that was who he would go after. And they usually worked for him. But anyway, he used to tell me that he was going to live here forever. Um, and he ended up running a blowjob bar. And, I'm just like, what kind of a life is this guy living? You know, but okay, he was one example of somebody who did stay here and he ended up dying here. But there's so many examples. I mean, I got guys, listen, I went out into the bars when I was first here for the first 4 or 5 years. I used to go into the bars all the time. And I'd see these guys, and they'd have some girl on their arm. They're like so happy. You see my new girl? Oh, yeah, I see her, man. How much she cost? You know. And inevitably, the subject would come up. Oh yeah, we're gonna get married. Yeah, we're gonna get married. Oh, I'm gonna move here forever. I love Thailand. And I hear all these people, oh, I love the Thais. Oh, I love Thailand. It's so great. Oh, and it is. Okay, I understand. But you got to keep it in check. You know, listen, I'm going to wait for some people to come in. I can't handle this. I got one comment from Carlos. I got 6 people watching. It's like nobody's in here yet. This is why what I need to do is have a run up, like a 15-minute video that counts down the minutes so that people know, he's live, but he's just not going live himself because he's waiting for people to come in and say hello, say whatever. Good morning. Good morning, Gabe. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. The only thing is that as I've said, stream through my mobile phone because I like to be mobile. And as I said, I've got these microphones. You can see. Hopefully, they're working well today. I'm gonna get. There's 2 different microphones that I want. There's the I don't know if it's going to be the Rode or DJI or whatever, and that's going to be that you can plug it into like a full frame camera. And then I have the Rode that I really like these, but they don't even sell them in Thailand because it's new. It's the wireless. They're wireless, just like these, but they're a little nicer, I would say. The batteries probably last longer. Um, they're higher quality, but they're like 150 bucks. So I'm gonna get those. So whenever they come in, I can get them from Amazon. I don't know if I can get them from Shopee or Lazada, but quite frankly, I don't care. Wherever I got to get them from, but they're not selling them in Thailand yet. The truth, they can't handle the truth. Yeah, that's about the size of it. So we're going to talk today about why it is that people say, "Oh, I'm going to move over. I'm going to move over there," and either they come over here, and then after a couple of months, they're gone. And listen, I see this on YouTube with YouTubers all the time. I'm talking about Joe and Phyllis. Yeah, we moved to Thailand. What a great life, man. Oh, yeah. We paid $250 for our little studio apartment. Good morning, Cyrus. We paid 200. No, we paid $500. Oh my God, what a great deal. First of all, it ain't that great of a deal. It's okay, but it ain't a great deal. Now, compared to back in like New York, okay. Back to say in certain parts of Florida, okay. But there are places in the U.S. where you can get an apartment for $500. It's a nice apartment. Now, it may be in some place where you don't want to live, but okay, you can do it, right? But they're always with the, I can get this, I get this, I get that. For only $2, you get a meal. I'm like, only $2. Buddy, I remember when it was like 35 cents. So, okay, I understand. It's all relative, right? It's all relative to where we are right now. And right now, the cost of living is what it is. It's not what it used to be. You know, however you want to put it. I forget who I was. Oh, I was looking with my buddy for the SD card and then also for new Macs. And the new Macs in Thailand are as much or more as they are in the U.S. Well, yeah, Carlos, and this is, I mean, I've been saying this for as long as I remember. There's a big difference between coming here as a tourist and being a 2-week millionaire, and then coming here and actually living here and understanding that if you spend like that, for most people, their money will run out. They will not have money. They will run out of money. That's what happened to me in the beginning. I ran out of money. I had to go back to work. Now, I only went back to work for, 5 months. But then I came over here. I had more money, and I had money coming in every month. And then I just set myself up. And ever since then, I've been here. Now, that's the thing. You see all these, it could be YouTubers. It could be people that you talk to. Most of the time now, what I see is I see YouTubers. Hey, I've been here for this long. And they're like 22 years old. And all they're doing is they're just trying to live off of whatever they make. And some of them are making really good money. I mean, I won't lie. They're on YouTube and, maybe they got 500,000. They've got 1 million subscribers. Okay, you're going to make a little bit of money. They can live off of that. But some of them, they got 30,000. They got 5,000, 10,000, 2,000 subscribers. They've been here for, 3 months and they're telling you what an expert they are. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. And they don't live here. Not yet. They're wannabes. Now, contrary to moi, I am not a wannabe. I've been here for a long time. I've forgotten so much shit here that, sometimes I just go, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Now, when was that? Oh, that was 97. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was here when it was 50 something to the 56 to the baht, 55 to the baht, 55 baht to the dollar. And let me tell you, people say something about that. Well, they don't know anything because it was good back then. It was great. Things were great. Now things are okay. I don't complain. Doesn't matter to me. I'm doing fine. I've been living here 9 years and I'm still clueless in a lot of. Yeah, okay. Do you speak any Thai, Carlos? Because that does make a difference. I mean, you have your assistant, and she can always help you. But it does make a difference. It really does. Okay, all right. It does make a difference, no matter what anybody says. Um, but anyway, getting back to all this. First of all, I hear, I have seen the guy on Integrity Legal. I just watch him once in a while because sometimes he has good subjects. Now, most of the time, I don't care what he says because it has no bearing on me. I don't care about what they're doing most of the time. I care about the bottom line. How does it affect me? One thing he talks about is the taxes and how some people talk about taxes online and they have no business talking about taxes. Now, I talk about the taxes, but I always say, I don't really know. I don't know anything. I don't know jack shit. All I know is what I hear, and what I hear is a bunch of shit in the media that really no one's sure. I haven't heard anything from the government. So what does it matter? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. And guess what? When you see some guy who's been here for 3 months and he's promising you, oh, I'm an expert. Yeah, get the consultancy with me. And it's a bunch of bullshit. Listen, you know, I understand the desire to earn from whatever you're doing online. But I see guys with these programs, they're $499. And I'm like, you've been here for 5 months and you're telling me about this hidden place and that hidden. Well, that's because, first of all, you're going to these places, the bars, we'll say, and that's all you want to do. There's a lot more to Thailand than just bars and women. There is. They're just a part of it. I've done that shit. I don't need that in my own life. I got an old lady. I'm married. I mean, that should say it all. But if it doesn't, when I first got hooked up, I thought, oh, well, I can have as many girls as I want. And my wife was like, no, you can't. You can't have as many girls as you want. In fact, I don't want you to have any other girls. And I was like, well, there's that myth. That's exploded. That's not the truth. So then why is it that all these people come over here and they stay here for a month or two, or let's say they stay here for 6 months or a year, and they're still, oh yeah, I'm gonna live here, and then they're like, well, maybe I'm gonna move to Cambodia, or they don't even have a 1-year visa. But what about the people that say they're gonna come here? Belinda Carlisle from the Go-Go's, she moved over here because she had the bread. She lives here. She lives here part-time. I forget where else she lives. Maybe it's Spain or Portugal. I don't remember. And of course, the United States. Let me see something here. I don't remember where else she lives, but she used to live in Bangkok, not all that far from here. Mexico. Now she lives in Mexico City. But she did, I think, or maybe she still does. I don't know. Let's see here. We got the beat. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Career, solo career. Very good. She's got a good voice. I mean, that's the bottom line. She's older now. But anyway, let me see here. Where does it say anything? Personal life. Oh, she was. Let me see here. They have one son. Wait, she married Morgan Mason. They have one son, James Duke Mason. Oh God, an activist. He was born in 1992, but After the 1994 Northridge earthquake, which I was in that, um, she moved to southeastern France. They lived between France and the U.S., and in 2017, they moved to Bangkok, Thailand. They also have a place in Mexico City. Now, she's just one example, but she's one example of someone who did move here. She moved here because she had the cash, and she wanted to. Who knows why? I don't know if it was political. Didn't hear anything about it. And you know what? Most people, they say they're going to leave because of politics, and they never do. It's a bunch of bullshit. They move because maybe they save money on their taxes. They save because of whatever. Just because they wanted to. But they ain't moving because of Trump. Let's see. Did Amy Schumer ever move? I don't think so. So, there's a lot of people that say they're going to do stuff and they don't do it. So why is that? Now, if they're a celebrity, you would think that most of them have enough money to make a move abroad. It doesn't cost all that much. If they wanted, they could buy a condo in Pattaya or Hua Hin or wherever. They could buy a condo. Boom, they're in. That's all they need, right? If they wanted, they could get residency in a couple of years. They could do whatever they wanted because they got enough bread. But we're going to get into exactly why people, not just celebrities, but people in general. But first, the dollar is at 34.30. Man, I hope it just stays above that. That's all I can say. It's gone down a little bit. The air quality, 81, which is moderate, which is, not good. The temperature is 72 degrees, which is fantastic. High of 88, low of 69. It's actually kind of cool. Which when I went out on the motorbike, I got my shirt on. I'm sitting on the back of a motorbike. I'm cruising along, and I just went, feel this air, baby. It's so nice. It's so cool out. And I'm like, this is primo weather here. I feel like temperature 79, and it's going to be partly cloudy mixed with some sun for the next week. But the weather is pretty nice here. The rain has subsided, not very much rain, so that's a good thing. Now, according to Move Buddha, which I guess is a moving company, a new study shows that 800%, there has been an 800% spike in searches to move abroad post-election. Crazy, huh? And the thing is most people will look and they'll just go, oh, I can't do it. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. The fireworks. You know what? Fireworks just, it's kind of like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah. After about 10 minutes of that, I'm like, all right, But I understand the allure. It's interesting. I don't know how many people were there, but probably a lot. Probably a lot. Now, let's see here. Barbara Streisand, Sharon Stone, Cher. Let me just go on this list here. These are the celebrities. We're not talking about regular people like you and me. Ellen DeGeneres. Get her out of here. Miley Cyrus, Lena Dunham, Bryan Cranston, Samuel L. Jackson, Cardi B. Whoa. She has to be the biggest idiot. And you know what? I just don't understand it. To me, she has no talent. But whatever. Who am I to judge? Because I have very little talent also. But then I would say I'm not into her. Whoopi Goldberg supposedly has said she's going to leave. She's run it back now and said, oh, no, I never said that. Minnie Driver and America Ferrera. These are just some of the people that have said we're going to leave. But most of them are all talk. That's all they are. They're just a bunch of bullshit. Barbara Streisand said she wouldn't be able to live in this country if Trump became president, and admitted she'd probably move to England. Well, then move. Get out of here. We don't want you here anymore. You're a singer. We don't care about your politics, honestly. And Cher, listen, I like Cher. I thought she was a piece of ass in the 60s and 70s. She was hot back then. Now she's an old lady. And I think her heart's probably in the right place, but, she's just, I just can't handle it with her. Um, and, all these celebrities saying they're going to move, it's nothing new. In 2016, Whoopi Goldberg, Miley Cyrus, Amy Schumer, George Lopez, and more vowed to get out of here. Morning, Jim. I find it really funny that Amy Schumer said she was going to move. I can't watch her. I can't watch her specials. I can't watch her on TV. I can't watch her in a movie. I don't want to see her. She bugs me. Just like Robert De Niro bugs me now. I thought he was great in, what was it, Raging Bull. I thought he was fantastic. But you know what? He wore out his welcome. Nobody gives a shit. I don't care what he says. Oh, and Amy Schumer said later on that she just said that everything that she said was in jest. And she said she was just disappointed. It says that for most celebrities, their move would have little to no effect on their career, which I don't think is really right. Christina Applegate, who doesn't like her? I used to like her, but not so much now. Um, oh, God, Mandy Moore. Who's Mandy Moore? Oh, Hulk Hogan, who voiced his support for Trump, wrote, "Believe it or not, brother, we're more alike than we are different. This election season showed just how much we all care about where the country's headed. Now that the votes are in, let's remember it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or a Republican. We're all real Americans." That's true. That's true. And, really, it shouldn't matter. I understand Trump may not be the greatest president as far as how he carries himself. Maybe he's not the greatest. Okay. But neither is, what's her name? And neither is the other what's her name. So, whatever. But these are just some of the celebrities. They're always talking. They're all a bunch of shit. Talking shit. That's all they do. America is sick that Donald Trump is president. And again, one insider claimed she is devastated that Kamala Harris lost. She thought the country she lived in was better than that. You mean it was good enough to have Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris is a fucking idiot. I'll say that, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if they demonetize me. I really don't care. She's a fucking moron. All she does is giggle, and she doesn't do what she says. And listen, you could say, "Oh, Trump's a criminal." Okay, whatever. What person in politics can cast no stone? Every person in politics, they're all a bunch of scumbags. That's how I look at it. And listen, to me, I live here. It doesn't matter to me. I live here. I live here for 30 fucking years. I'm going on the 31st year next month. And then I got another year after that. And then I'm here half my life. Half my life. I was a youngster. I had hair when I moved here. I was skinny and really fit and had hair. I was back in the day. Now it's not like that. Minnie Driver says she's going back to London after 3 decades in Los Angeles. She can't see herself living in a Republican-run state. Oh, fuck off. I don't care. I don't care about you. Living in California, you are somewhat insulated, she said, but do you want to go and live in a bubble? Do you want to run away from the fire, or do you want to go back and help? Oh, Jesus Christ. God, I don't even want to read this shit. Nobody cares about what the celebrities say. So, why is it that the regular people, why is it that a lot of them say they're going to move and yet they never do? There are reasons why. The whole street was blocked, vendors were set up, music and hotties everywhere. I can see that. I can see it being a place to be. Hey, Jim. Good morning, Carlos. I left the country during a shitty administration. I just didn't announce my departure. Catch you all later, heading to Nakalua to eat some lobster. Oh, you bastard. I had some in Vietnam, so that did the trick for me. But have fun, enjoy, and I'll talk to you later. Um, listen, listen up. Why is it people say they're going to come and don't come? Just what are some of the reasons? Yeah, well, my hair is not growing in anymore. It grows out just a little bit and then it kind of stops. So really, I need to shave it like every day, every other day, and I shave it like once a week. Um, Now my beard, Jesus Christ, I don't want to let my beard grow out because I'd have a white beard. My beard is all white now. I have very little black left in my beard, and I look like a friggin' old man. When I shave, I look a little bit younger. Now, let's go on here. Some of the reasons why. Why would anybody move to Canada? If you move to Canada, it's like you're moving to another United States, except it's even fucking worse. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, Trudeau. Oh baby. Oh, he's great. Oh yeah. I don't think so. But whatever. So, let's get into some of the reasons why people are. They say they're going to do it. They say they'll move, but yet they don't. We're not talking about the people who come for a couple of months. Listen, they come because they're like, well, let me dip my toe in the water and see what it's like. And then after a little while, it doesn't pan out. People just think, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to make money from that and I'm going to take care of everything. And that's not true for most people. For 95% of the people, they ain't making it on YouTube. They're not going to make it. They're going to make peanuts. I mean, you're lucky if you make $1,000. Okay, that's all right. You make more than that, you're in a smaller percentage. Most people on YouTube barely earn, $200, $300. They don't even earn that. So, one of the reasons that people don't come over here is the complications that they feel like they're going to have in their lives if they do move. And yeah, for some people, it does get more complicated. And that's why, listen, I was 32 when I moved over here. I just turned 32. And I was single. I mean, I had a girlfriend, but I knew we weren't going to get married. I knew that things weren't going to progress. And, it was nice and everything. And she was a nice chick, nice girl. And she really was into me and I was really into her. But we weren't like, oh, baby, I love you so much. Oh, it wasn't like that. And so I felt like, and I did ask her, do you want to go to Thailand with me? And she said, what do I want to do that for? They don't speak English there. It's dirty as hell. Why do I want to go there? I want to go to France. I want to see the Formula One. And I just went, okay, go ahead. I'm going to Thailand because I wanted to go. So I didn't listen to her. I just said, fuck it, I'm going. And then I came like 5 times because I was getting the good price, and I was getting the air courier flights and stuff like that, which made it very easy. So really, I didn't have very many complications, and I worked for myself. I had been working for a printing company, and that printing company went out of business. Well, I got their customer list. So I had a business because I was a broker. So I had been doing that for, I don't know, 2 years or so. And I thought, listen, I got money. I got somebody that works for me. And that's why in the beginning, I just said, listen, I'm going to go. I'm taking off. I'll be gone for 10 days. Anything important happens, I'll give you a fax number. You can fax me. You can email me. Whatever. And we communicated that way. So for me, it was not complicated. It was much easier than what people now might expect it to be. Although when you have um, when you have the internet and you have voice IP and you have all these things, I mean, let's face it, you got Line, you got WhatsApp, you got all these different ways that you can communicate. It doesn't really matter where you are. It doesn't matter as much unless you must meet in person with somebody. I didn't have to do that. Okay. So I was pretty lucky. I'm thinking it had to do with visa issues. That's not the only thing. Definitely not. That is definitely not um, the reason why. It's one of the reasons, but it's definitely not the reason. Okay. I feel that it is much less complicated here once you adapt to life is a breeze. Um, well, I think there's a lot more than that you have to kind of nail it down and kind of get things. You just have to get yourself situated. And I think once you do that, then yeah, life is easy, man. And I've talked about it before, and I've talked to people about it before. It's like I don't usually now. I'm not going on the SkyTrain nearly as much as I used to. But what I'll do is I have my Line account connected to the BTS card. So if I have money in my Line account, I put 1,000 baht on there, and I go somewhere and it costs 40 baht on the SkyTrain. It comes right off of use my card. I just tap it. I don't even put money on my card. Put money in my Line account. And then I go, I have to pay the electric bill. It's 250 baht. Oh, okay. I just pay it. Pay it through my Line account. I have to pay my bill at the end of the month. I have to pay for my phone bill. Use my Line account. I pay it right through there. Everything's set up. I don't have to worry about anything. It's all set up. And then I have everything else set up automatically. It just comes out of my bank account. I just know it. Okay, I have to put in 20,000 baht in here, and then it will take out this for this and that for this. This for that, that for this, and everything just comes out. And I know, okay, that account is just for the automatic withdrawals. Make sure that I got this much money in there. I'm set. I don't have to worry about anything. All the other money is in other accounts. I don't have to worry about anything. Today I came in. I have my card. Sometimes I use this card. Today I came in, gave them the card. They tapped it on the thing. Boom, money comes out from my account in America. So once you're set up here, it's easy. It's a piece of cake. I mean, I go into the grocery. I use my credit card. I use my Amex. I transfer the money from one of my bank accounts. I transfer that money. It pays off that particular amount. It will pay that off so that everything will get paid off as I spend it. Piece of cake, right? Or you can use the QR code, whatever you want to do. So my point is that if you come over here, you set yourself up, and then it's a piece of cake. Not just immigration, many other aspects of your life can be just so simple. But I think the complications in leaving America, that is what prevents people from. That's the complications alone. Oh, I've got this house here. I don't know what to do with it. What am I going to do? Where's the money going to go? Oh, if I rent it out, who's going to watch over it for me? And all these things can be overcome. But you just have to, it's just like everything else. It's like you get a new computer or a new phone. In the beginning, you're not sure of how everything works. You're not sure of, it takes you time to get set up. And then once you get it all set up, it's a piece of cake. You're like, you sit back, oh yeah, it's right here. Boom. Well, that's exactly what it's like when you leave. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're married. If you're married, then you got to make sure that your partner wants to come and she's got the same kind of goals and reasons for wanting to leave. And are you guys in sync? So the complications, and then of course, I think this is the number one reason. It's just fear. You tell somebody, oh yeah, they come from Wisconsin or they live in Arizona or something, and you go, oh yeah, you want to go live in Mexico? You want to go live in Costa Rica? You want to go live in Thailand, Philippines? They're like, I don't know, man. You know, don't I have to do this? Don't I have to do that? And the reason that I came over here originally was that I was talking to a guy at a fish store, a couple doors down from where I worked, and he would tell me about his trips to Bali. He used to go to Bali, and he would say he would buy furniture, ship the furniture back, and then he would resell the furniture, and then he would get the money back, and that money would pay for his trip and then some. And I was like, you do that? He's like, yeah, man, it's easy. Piece of cake. And I was like, wow. And I started thinking about Bali. But I didn't go to Bali because there was a chick who lived next door to me, and she was from Bali, and I didn't like her. I didn't like her sense of humor. I just didn't really like her that much. She was okay, but I just didn't like her, and so that kind of turned me off for Indonesia. I was like, eh. And now I think about it, and I think, well, it might not have been so bad, you know. But it really depends on you. Yeah, well, I mean, I came over here long before COVID, and I don't know what I would have done if I was trying to come over here during COVID. I don't know, but I mean, I was here 20. I don't know what was it? 25, 25, 28. I don't know how many years. 20, 27 years, 26 years. By then, I'd been here for a long time, so I didn't even think about that. I was thinking I don't want to leave Thailand because I need to be able to make sure that I get back in. And I just stayed here. But I traveled around Thailand and I didn't have any problems then. It was easy. But fear, I think, is a big problem for many people. I know guys, I tell them, just buy the ticket and have a little bit of spending money, just a little bit, just to get yourself, you go out, you don't have to ask somebody for money for a sandwich or something. I said, everything else is covered. You can stay with me. I'll take you to the bar. I'll do whatever. We'll go out. We'll have a good time. They never come over. And it's not that they weren't good friends. They were great friends when I was living there. Some of them, I think it was fear. Some of them, I think it was the complications. They're like, I don't even have a passport. I'm like, okay, so get one. It's not that big of a deal to get a passport. It's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Boom, it's done. Okay, now wait. You'll get it. You'll get it, and you'll be able to go wherever you want now. Now, some people, they just don't know where to begin. They don't have any idea where to start to leave. And like I said, they may not even have a passport. Well, When I was a little kid, I went to Mexico. I've never been outside the United States since then. Okay, well then take a step. Take a chance. Gamble a little. Live a little. You know? And that's the thing, like when I did it, I didn't think there was anything holding me back. I mean, I had a girlfriend, but I thought that's not gonna hold me back. I'm not gonna get married to her, so what's the, and I came over the first time, had a good time, and I said, listen, I had a really good time. Why don't you come over with me the next time? I wanted her to come with me. No, I don't want to go. You go, have a good time. I went over the second time. I met a chick. I was like, okay, man, this is all right here. The third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, and I was like, I'm gone from her. I'm leaving her. What do I need to be with her for? Huh. Interesting. I don't even want to think about how COVID was in the U.S. I didn't have any problems. And in fact, right before COVID, I was in Hong Kong on and off for 4.5 months. I went back and forth. And, it could have been difficult. But was over there, and then it was like December, and in February they locked it down. I think it was in Hong Kong they locked it down, and I was like, well, shit, how can I get back into Hong Kong? Because I was thinking, should I go back? Should I go back? And I thought, I think the protests are pretty much over, and so I didn't go back. And then I was in Thailand, and I just stayed in Thailand. I didn't go anywhere else. My wife didn't go anywhere, and fortunately for her, she was working with her company. Her company said, listen, if you want to leave, we'll give you a severance package, or you can take a pay cut for during the COVID. She took the pay cut. She's like, no, 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 I'm not ready to quit. I don't care if they give me a severance package or not. And now she's back in full pay, but everybody is. So that was just to me that was a pause. You're hitting pause on the VCR, right? And that's about it. But anyway, most people, some of these people don't even have any idea how to get started. They really need somebody to hold their hand in the beginning. And with me, my friend Christian, I had been abroad, but with my parents. And he said, I'm going to England. I don't think you're going to go, but if you want to go with me, you can go. I said, oh, wow, I want to go. He goes, yeah, I know you want to go, but will you really go? And until I got on the plane, I was with him on the plane, sitting there, and we took off. He did not think I was going to go. So I just asked him what I had to do. And I knew about passports and stuff like that, but he helped me out. And I went to the UK. Then we went to Amsterdam. And we did we go to Belgium, I think? And then we came back to the UK. And then I went to UK again and met some chick who was a really cool girl and who I didn't realize just how hot she was until I saw her in the UK, because I always saw her in the US. But I knew where to begin. I had somebody just to help me a little bit, but I think some people really need a little bit of help. And that's okay. If you want the help is there for almost everybody. Unless you've been living in poverty all your life and you don't know what you can do. I mean, if you've got a halfway decent job and you got your act together a little bit, you should be able to figure it out. It's not that difficult. Now, as I believe it was Ian said earlier, for some people, it's about the visa issues. It's about getting a visa. What visa do you need? Well, when I came over here, I wasn't sure how long I was going to stay. I wasn't sure how I was going to stay. I didn't even know. All I knew was I can go over without a visa. And I could stay for, I think at that time it was, you could stay for a month and extend for a month. And that's what I did for like the next year. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do something else. What do I do? Okay, well, you got to get a visa, a 1 year visa. You're going to have to figure out how to do it. And so that's what I did. I got a 1 year tourist visa. That was what I did in the beginning. So you can find ways. Generally, if you have a little bit of money, then it's very easy. Listen, if you got money, anything's possible. You can move wherever you want if you got plenty of money. I'm talking about plenty. I'm not talking about, you got, I got $10,000. That's what I thought. $10,000 isn't shit. You'll go through $10,000. If you're going to live off a budget here of $1,500 to $2,000, which is not really that much, in the first month or two, you might spend $3,000 getting set up. So you might last for 4 or 5 months. And then you got to figure out, okay, how are you going to make any money? And that is another issue, which is you're not rich enough to live abroad. You don't have the money. And you don't really know how do you go about doing that. And you know what? 2 places I considered moving to. I thought, oh my God, I really like this place. The first one was when I had never lived abroad, and that was the Netherlands. And it wasn't Amsterdam, it was in Breda, in the south of the Netherlands. And I kept thinking to myself, how am I going to make money? And I thought, well, I can sell something. How can I do it? I've got to sell something and, buy it cheap, sell it expensive. How am I going to do it? I couldn't come up with anything. I just didn't know how to do it. So I never moved to the Netherlands. Now, I've been there 10 times, but the last time I went there, it was so expensive. I just was like, oh my God, this is not the place I remember. This is not the place I remember when you had Dutch guilders. And for $10, you could get everybody in the bar a beer. So, for a lot of people, it's they don't have enough money. And then it's, well, how do I find a job if I'm going to go live abroad? I know I need to work because I got to have money. Where am I going to find a job? How am I going to find a job? And if you don't have specific skills, you're not going to be able to come over here and find a job. And it used to be that you could come here and do many, many things. And the old standby was teach English. Well, anybody who's been here a long time knows that if you're going to teach English here in Thailand, unless you are going to teach at a university or you're going to teach at a high school and you're a teacher. That's what you are. You're not coming over here with a degree going, okay, well, I can teach English. All right, I'm going to get a job at this English school. It's going to pay me 30 or 40,000 baht a month. That's the bottom of the barrel, man. The bottom of the barrel job. So that's something to think about. What are you going to do? Now, if you're retired already, if you're 22 or 23, you better have an online business set up so that when you come over here, you know for sure that money is going to continually come in and you're not going to run out of money. You've got savings. You've got, $3,000, $4,000 a month, every month coming in, at least that much. And okay, I'm sitting pretty. But if you come over here and go, I'm going to be a plumber. No, you're not. You're not going to be a plumber. You're not going to be a refrigerator repairman. You're not going to be an attorney. Even the attorneys that are here, or most doctors that are here, I think it's a little different. But with attorneys, even if they are an attorney from, say, in the United States, they can't be an attorney here. They have to be like the head of the company, the what is it called? The CEO or whatever it is. But to become a doctor here in Thailand is a whole process. You need to be able to read, write, speak Thai very well. You need to be just like a Thai, basically. So you're not going to come over here and be a doctor. You're not going to come over here and be a lawyer. You're not going to come over here and be an accountant. You're not going to come over here and, you know, be, a tradesman. I'm going to be an electrician. They got electricians here that are probably better than you. And this is the thing. Guys are very good at certain jobs. Very good. They don't need you. So you better think about what are you going to do. Oh, I'm going to have an online business. Okay. What are you going to do? You're going to sell Thai goods? What, you think they don't have people that buy Thai goods in mass by the container? Because when I first came here, I used to sell Thai goods. And I used to sell, sometimes I would sell like a quarter of a, what do they call it? I mean, it was like maybe like a quarter of a row on a container. And I would have somebody sell that stuff. I had it all sold, but they would send it out for me. And I would make money from it. But then what happened was you started getting people, they're sending full containers. So when you see these little, jade eggs or you see the little kitty cats and stuff like that, they've done that. They got, 100,000 of them, 100,000 of them. 20,000 go to New York, 20,000 go to Miami, 20,000 go here, 20,000. So if you think you're going to make money off of that, good luck. It's probably not going to happen. Now, I said some people just don't even know where to go. Well, some people don't know where to begin. Some people know how to get everything set up, but they're like, okay, so now what do I do? Where do I go? What do I do when I get there? They haven't got a clue. And most people, what they do when they decide that they're going to come to Thailand, most of the time they come to a hotel and stay in a hotel for a little while until they can find a place to live, like an apartment or a condo or whatever. And I can tell you one of the best things that I've ever done is I don't live in an apartment. And I love that. I've lived in a house and I've lived in a townhouse. And far better. I don't have anybody. Nobody bugs me. I don't have any banging on the wall, or you don't hear some chick getting laid. There's none of this stuff. You don't hear that stuff. Okay, my friends and family don't support me. Now, I would say that this is something that is prevalent, and I think it's something that a lot of people, they worry about it. Especially when you say you're going to Thailand or maybe the Philippines. If you say you're going to go to Thailand, you're going to go to the Philippines or somewhere like this, I don't know what that noise is. Hear that little bell? Um, and I'll give you one example. Jono tells me all the time that some of his friends that he had when he left, I think he's been here 6 years now. Some of his friends, when he left, they would go, "Oh, I know what you're going over there for. I know what you're going to do over there." And he's like, "What? What am I going to do over there?" "Well, you're going to get all the girls, man. I know. You're going to go and get girls." And he's like, "Dude, I'm not going there for the women. What is your problem?" You know? And in the old days, people used to say that to me. A long time ago, people used to say it to me all the time. "What are you there for? So you can bang whores?" I'm like, "No. Well, what's your problem?" So the preconceptions of what Thailand is like, and to the Philippines or wherever it might be, but some of the conceptions that people have of the places where you go, then automatically maybe your parents are thinking, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's going." My mother said to me, "I know that in Bangkok you can get just about whatever you want." I'm like, well, that is kind of true, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. So sometimes your family and your friends may not completely understand. They may not support you. They may not understand everything about why you're coming over, and they may just have the completely wrong conception. I know people that have said to me, like, it's almost like this. Hey, do they have refrigerators in Thailand? I'm like, what? Yeah, do they have refrigerators there? I'm like, it's not, you're not living out in the countryside where nobody has electricity, you idiot. You know, but that's what some people think. Do they have cars over there, out there? I find that Thai people in general are fairly conservative. Yeah. I mean, listen, my wife is conservative, and I like that because I'm conservative. I don't have any, I'm happy with my life. That's the thing. I'm happy with my wife. I'm happy with my life. I mean, I get irritated sometimes, but like, it's not like it's the end of the world. Um, oh man. Oh. So let's see here. I don't know where to begin. My friends and family don't support me. The visa process is too complicated. Listen, the visa process here is not too complicated. Any idiot can figure it out. Now, depending on what kind of visa you're getting and exactly what you're going to do, you just have to, it's like a freaking science project. Boom, step one, you do step one. Then you go to step two. Well, while you're doing step two, you're working on step three. Then you do step four. Then you get to it and you're all done. It's like putting together a recipe. You know, you put the sugar in, then you put the eggs in, you put the flour in, you mix it all up. It's exactly what it is. It's not that difficult. You know, anyone that has to ask about refrigerators and cars in Thailand needs to stay right with it. Well, those were just examples, but I can't think of it right now. But people have asked me things about Thailand and do they make pancakes out there? That kind of stuff. And I'm just like, do they have ketchup? Oh, no, they don't have ketchup out here. They don't have pancakes either. They don't have syrup. They don't have nothing. In fact, I'm just a hit here. You know, my electricity is much more reliable than it was in the U.S. Same with cable and internet. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that same. I mean, when I lived in the United States, the electricity was stable. The cable and internet was stable. So I don't really have that. I don't really compare them. What I do know is that, with the exception of maybe my Fire Stick, which sometimes there's a lag or sometimes uh, it's not up to snuff. If I'm watching YouTube, if I'm watching Netflix or something like that, I never have a lag with my internet time. If I'm watching something on my phone, there's never a lag. Nothing. And as far as my electricity doesn't go out very often. If it does, it might be once or twice a year, and that's it. It's a good thing because I got stuff in my freezer. I don't want it to thaw out. If it did, I'd be cooking everything from the freezer so that I wouldn't lose it all. But okay, whatever. But I don't have a problem with my electricity, just like Jim says. The electricity here is pretty damn stable. I don't worry about it. I don't worry about that. I don't worry about I don't have cable. I have Netflix. And Netflix, once in a while, you get an error message, but that's usually, I mean, it's like, I don't know, again, once or twice a year. And then generally what you do is you don't even have to call them up. You just restart it. And then boom, it starts right up. Internet, piece of cake. And I'll tell you what, I got True Internet, and I don't like True as a company. I'm not fond of them. But we have had True because we've had it for so long, and I don't want to give it up because Now I don't have problems with them. In the past, I used to have a few problems. I don't have any problems now. And if I really wanted, I'd use AIS. I got AIS on my phone. I'm streaming on my phone right now. I stream all the time. I watch videos all the time. I don't have any problem. And the thing is I have Wi-Fi as well. I'm not using most of the time on my computer. I will connect it with the hotspot and just run the phone in the computer, the laptop, on the hotspot. Everything just runs on the 5G. I just started going, why do I need to use that extra 5G? Why do I have to use it? I can use the Wi-Fi on the phone and use the hotspot here. I can use the 5G on the phone and the Wi-Fi on the computer. It doesn't really matter because everything is fine. So anyway, that's a positive. I don't know where to go. How do I even find a job abroad? I'm not rich enough to live abroad. Fear. And fear is always something. And, listen, I always look at it. It's like, the saying, no fear. If you don't know that, well, you must be living under a rock. But, there's that saying and there's that company, no fear. I still remember going up on a bungee platform when I was about, I don't know, 27, somewhere around then. I went up on the top of a bungee platform. It was 100 feet up. I'm looking down. They got me on the harness. I'm looking down and they go, 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 go. And I went, shit, that's a long way up. And I just went, no fear. I just jumped. I just thought, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about the fear. Boom. Put it out of your mind and go. Come on, man. What's the worst that's going to happen? You end up in the embassy and they're going to have to fly you home. And in most cases, that's not going to happen. If you have enough money or you have a ticket to come back home, you might have to wait for a couple of days and sit in your hotel room and go, oh, this sucked, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. You could be an idiot and that could happen. But for the most part, if you have a ticket to go back home, you're going to come over here. You're like, I don't really like this place. It sucks. Okay. And then a couple of days later, you go back home. That's it. That's the extent of your problem. Oh, it's such a problem. No, it's not. So take the leap. Have a little faith in yourself. Have a little confidence. And I've been all over the world. And I went to some places and I just go, what the fuck am I doing here? I went to Guyana with like 2 days notice. My boss said, I think you're going to have to go to Guyana and take a look at this guy. And I went, huh? He goes, yeah, you got to go to Guyana. I go, oh, man. I go, all right, well, let's go. I was like, hey, that's kind of fun. It took me like 45 hours to get there from here. My God, that was madness. But I got lucky. I got to fly first class a couple of times. I got to fly business class. And it was all right. So sometimes things don't work out the way you think they might work out. Sometimes you think, I'm going to move to Thailand. I'm going to move to the Philippines. I'm going to move to Mexico. Oh, my God. I don't know. What's it going to be like? I don't really want to think about it. Oh, my God. If you have that kind of an attitude, just throw that in the garbage. Just go, hey, let's see what happens. It's an adventure. Life's an adventure. That's what how you have to think. And you just have to go and do it. I've been thinking about going to the Congo for years. Somewhere. But I've been thinking about that for years. And I will go. As long as I stay alive, I will go. And the reason why I'll go is because even though I'm scared shitless to go, I'm like, man, if I get there, I know I'm going to have to be paying out. I'm going to have to be talking to these guys. But I thought, you know what? It's an adventure, man. I got to do it. I'm going to have to do it. So I will do it. Now, I may be a little older. I'm not in my prime like I used to be, but okay, whatever. So I'll go there and have a good time. You got to have that attitude. If you don't have that attitude, you might as well just go, fuck it. I'm just going to stay at home. Now, another one that a lot of people, they have a real problem because they think they don't speak the language there. They think that they're speaking English and nobody speaks English here. And Um, so why do I want to go over there? Again, first of all, if you come here, most people who come here don't speak the language before they come here. So you just have to say, and I'll tell you another, I'm going to give the same example, Jono. Jono says, I think I speak Thai now very poorly. He doesn't like how he speaks Thai. And I said, listen, just keep doing it. Eventually, it will kick in and you will start to become understood. That's what you need to do. And he's like, yeah, I know. It just seems it's really slow. And I'm like, yeah, but all good things come to those who wait. Do a couple of recon trips and stay out of the tourist areas to see what life will really be like. Or go to the tourist areas and see what it's like, and then go outside the tourist areas and so you see what it's like. And I did that. And one of the first trips I took was to Sakeo. I went with some chick. I was like, all right, you want to go? Let's go. We went to Sakeo. And she's like, you can't sleep in my house, my parents' house with me. They're not going to allow that. I said, okay. So I got a hotel. She came and stayed with me until like midnight every night. And then she came home to her parents' house. And I went to Sakeo. I don't even remember the place now. That was 30 years ago. I don't remember what it was like. I have no idea. But it was an experience. I remember I went there. I remember getting so drunk on Lau Khao that I woke up and I was in a hammock. And I looked over, and there right next to me is a water buffalo just chewing away. And I just thought, what the fuck, man? What kind of movie am I in? All right, let me see. Is there anything else on here? Oh, unwillingness to leave your comfort zone. And that goes hand in hand with it's complicated, with fear, the language, I don't know what I'm going to do for money. All this, the unwillingness to leave your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is back home. Like for me, if I wanted to find a job, I knew, okay, in the old days, I'm going to get a newspaper. I'm going to look at the want ads. I'm going to circle all the ones and I'll call them all up. I'll do whatever I got to do. And then, hopefully I'll get a meeting or something like that. I'll get in, boom, I'll get a job. And within a week, I almost always had a job if I was looking for work. So at the very least, I knew how to go in and be fairly likable enough to hire me. Now, I may not have wanted to stay there for very long, but I got the job, right? But so what? So now you don't know what you're going to do. Okay, well, you got to figure it out. Come up with a solution. Come up with a solution where at least you pay your rent and you pay for food. You pay for all your basic expenses. And hopefully when you move over, the smart thing to do, have enough money for, say, a year. I'm talking about if you're going to spend $1,500 a month, bring $1,200 a month times 12. So that's 14,400, right? Say it's 15,000. You have 15,000. You go, this 15,000 has to last me all year. By the end of the year, you should have made contacts. You should have learned about the country. Should have learned some of the language. And you should learn, how can I make some money? And if you don't learn, you go back home. You got to have some money back home waiting for you. I mean, it doesn't come much. I mean, that's how it breaks down to. What you need to do is when you come over here, you need to earn enough to stay afloat and then some, so that you can put a little money away so that if something happens, you got plan B, which is I've got $10,000 saved. And that will last me for 10 months, if I'm spending just a little bit. Then you got to figure out, okay, so now what? What am I going to do? And for me, what I found out was, I just put the feelers out. People that I knew When money stopped coming in for me, I just went to one guy and he said, "Oh well, you should try getting a job at this place. I know they'll hire you." I said, "Really?" So I went in. Boom. I told the guy, "I'm not going to get drunk. When I come into school, I won't be drunk. I'll come in on time and I'll do the best I can." Boom, you're hired. That kept me afloat for like 4 months. And then from there, one of my buddies said, "You used to be a printer, right?" "Yeah, I used to be a printer." "Okay, well, we're opening a print shop." "I'm opening a print shop. I've got a print shop." I said, "Oh, well, okay. What do you got?" He tells me all the equipment he has. I said, "Great." Now, it was all shitty. It was shitty equipment. It was not very good. It was not what you would want in a print shop where the rollers are perfectly smooth and everything is nice. It was held together with, rubber bands, and there were pits you had to tap ink on it so that there wouldn't be a hole in the image on the paper. You'd have to tap on the spot on the roller. There's all kinds of things like that. But it was a job. And he gave me an apartment, right? And that kept me alive for another year. Then he decided to close it down, and then I had to think again, and that's when I ended up coming back and going back home. 9:44. I'm gonna call one of my streams 9:44. Okay, and then last but not least, it's complicated, and this is the one I really haven't got into it that much, but it can be very complicated to leave, and I'll tell you how I think about it. I live in Thailand now. I've lived here for 30 years. Now, if I want to move to Ecuador, or I want to move to Portugal, or I want to move wherever it is, and I want to move, I still have to think, do I have enough money? Now, if I was living alone, yeah, I do, but I'd want to have more. But okay, I'm not thinking about just myself. I'm thinking about my family, right? Okay, so I would say, no, we need a little more money. Okay, so how are we going to make that money? Well, it might be a few years before we have all that money. Then I think to myself, okay, what about work? What about work for my kids? Maybe my kids stay behind. Maybe my wife wouldn't like that. So we have to think about that. So it can be complicated to make a move. So for me to move from here now, where I am entrenched, where I've been living for a long time, where I don't have any worries. I got everything. I'm like, most of the time I'm like this. I'm sitting back, relaxing. I don't have a major care in the world. It's all easy. Today, my biggest thing is I got to go and buy some bacon. I need some bacon for the house today. And then I'm going to spend some time with my wife. Wow. That's it. That's all I got to think about. Now, I understand people can have different concerns at different points in their life. I understand that. So if you're trying to come over here, it may be complicated for you to get rid of your house. Maybe you don't want to rent it out. Maybe you want to sell it. So you're not leaving until you sell your house. Maybe you have a parent that you're taking care of back home, and you don't want to leave her behind or leave him behind. Maybe you don't want to do that. Those kind of things make it very difficult to move. But at some juncture in your life, you may be able to do it. I'm not talking about you're some celebrity who, oh, I'll just take a flight back over there. So and so will let me use their personal jet. You know, it's not like that for most people. Most people have to think about money. They have to kind of prepare a little bit for everything to make sure they're all set up. And then what about your health care? You got to think about that. What about dental care? You got to think about that. What about your eyes? You got to think about that. So there's a lot of little things to take into consideration if you're going to move over here. And that's why I say it can be complicated. It can be very complicated. But it doesn't have to be. You know, if you're a single guy and you're 35, you just broke up with your girlfriend like 2 years ago, and you don't have a girlfriend now, you're thinking about doing it. You got money coming in from your rental property, you got money coming in from your internet company, and you got $3,000-4,000. I know people that are making $4,000 or $5,000 from their company that they're working for back in the States, and they don't care where they live. It's fantastic, right? So those are some of the reasons why people don't move over here after saying that they will. Emotional attachment to personal belongings and social circle need to be overcome for many. I just gave everything away. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Jim, but I don't know. Like, for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I sold some of my stuff, I gave some of my stuff away, and I threw it away. You know, I came over here with 3 bags. I had 1 bag full of CDs, which, I mean, I had hundreds of CDs. And I thought, I'm not getting rid of these. You know, I had a couple hundred CDs. It filled up a whole case. You know, I had some clothes and I had some books. And that was it. Now, most of the books are gone. Almost all the books are gone. The CDs are long gone. You don't need CDs, right? All you gotta do is stream it. You don't need anything. I used to have The Sopranos on like 3 different things in case they got deleted. I would have them somewhere else and I could just copy them and then watch it. Now, I know it's online now. You can watch it online. There's all kinds of places you can watch it. You don't need all that. So again, you can go lighter, which is what I was talking to. I was talking to Jono yesterday. We were talking about how when I went to the 2008 Olympics, and I covered the Olympics for a couple magazines, I had 3 cameras and like 5 lenses and two tripods and cables and batteries. And man, it was so heavy. Ah, you bastard. Well, have a piece for me, man. Enjoy it. I had some in Vietnam that were quite good, but I had scallops. The scallops I ate in Vietnam were the best, man. They were so good. And I got some scallops the other day. I may get them today. They're 200 baht for 10 of them. Take them out of the shell, put them in some garlic and some butter, fry them all up, throw them on the plate, get some cheese, sprinkle it all over. Boom. Fantastic. But the lobster was fantastic. And that's the one thing that I did like about Da Nang is that you could eat there for cheap. I mean, we had tacos one day. I think I talked about this, but there was, let's see, me, Ted, my wife, and both kids. I thought there was somebody else. No, but I think there's 5 people. Yeah, there's 5 people. Alex had 2 huge burritos. Ted had a big burrito. Nicholas had a quesadilla. Oh, and then Bo, which I talked about. Yeah. She had some soup and some rice. And then I had some tacos. Oh, you brought your seasoning. Oh, man. I'm doing it right now. What time is it now? Oh, 10 o'clock. It's early. Lobster for breakfast. But we had these tacos and burritos for everybody. It was like $5.50 for 5 of us. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they will let me cook again. Well, that's nice. There are some wonderful things about Thailand. I mean, we're talking about lobster now. I call my friend up in Ecuador. He's in Ecuador right now. He's always like, well, why don't you come over here? I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just spend the $2,000 that it costs to get me there. But, you know, he's got where he is, he has a fish person and a shrimp person. They ride around on a motorcycle with a little freezer full of seafood and shrimp, and he buys it right from them. It's right from the local market that's a half an hour away. They go to the market, they grab everything, they come back, and then they sell it. So he'll spend $100, $200, and that lasts him all month. Yeah, seafood that lasts him for all month. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That place is good, man. I, I I suspect that you have a nice place to sit down today. You have plenty of room to sit down. All right, listen. I got to remind you guys that if you enjoy this stream, do me a favor, smash the like button. Oh yeah, yeah. I figured you did. Um, and you want to help support the channel, there are a number of ways you can do so. YouTube Super Chat, Super Thanks. You can become a member of the channel for a big whopping $1.99. You can use the Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, or Patreon patron. And there's merch down below the video window. You can go to my website at americanandbangkok.com and you can get one of my books. Or you can go to Amazon to get the books. And if you need any help with anything else, then send me a uh, an email and we'll set up some kind of a consultation. The place I'm talking about was in Vietnam, in Da Nang, and it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't believe it that it was so cheap. We were in shock. You know, like we looked at the bill, we went, unbelievable. But we went to some seafood places that were like that as well. We only went to one place that we considered expensive. Well, two. No, not Taco Bell. It wasn't Taco Bell. Um, we went to what was the name of that place? In Da Nang, we went to Pink Salt. That was for my birthday. We went there, and my buddy paid for that very kindly. Um, and then, but we went to a couple places. But we went to one other place that was really expensive. It was right down on the beach, and we went there twice. It was called, I think it was East Beer, West Beer, or something like that. I don't really remember what it was called, but it was a place meant for tourists, and it was expensive. It was not your typical place. Like we went to one place and for like $50, all five of us had lobster and scallops and shrimp and everything you could imagine. We just ate until we were stuffed, and it was like $9 each, and drinks. But this place we went, and it was like for five of us, it was like $100. It wasn't cheap. What's the name of that place in Da Nang? Let me think here. East West Brewing Company. That's what it was called. That was the expensive place. If you want to go and you want to spend a little bit of money, they got craft beer there. That's the place to go. Now let me see here. They got a brunch menu. I had the when I was there. I just had a tuna poke bowl, 150. What is that? 150,000. Steak and eggs, 195,000. What is that in? Let's see here. All right, so for a tuna poke bowl, it was like 200 baht, which is not that expensive, but it's not also not very big. It didn't fill me up. So let me see here. Dinner menu, Da Nang. Okay. See, grilled seafood platter, 695,000, which is, it's about $28, something like that. Fresh oyster, 50 pieces. They don't have the price on that one. Yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't that expensive, but when you add in a beer or 2 beers or, a drink. And it gets, you're talking about $30 a person, which for Asia is, it's a little costly. Anyway. Anyway, now you guys know some of the reasons why people don't come and stay in Thailand. Some people will come, as I said. There are a lot of YouTubers. They're here for, you find some guy and he's a fresh faced kid. I'm talking about he looks like he's 20, 25 years old. And you look at his website or his YouTube site. You can look and just like click his videos and go oldest. Oh, he's been on for 10 months. And it says, oh, yeah, he's been in Vietnam, he's been in Cambodia, and he's been in Thailand. Okay, he hasn't been here that long, right? Nothing wrong with that, but let's just call a spade a spade. If I had been in Ecuador for a month, I wasn't even there for a month. I was there for about, 8 days, 10 days. My experience there is very limited. Big difference between living there and visiting there. So I think that's something that you have to take that into consideration. Are you dealing with somebody who lives here? He's really lived here. He knows what it's all about. Or are you talking about somebody who just moved here? And, that's a different dynamic for people. And, you got to start somewhere. If you're going to move here, well, you're here for 6 months. And then after another 6 months, you're here for a year. And if you continue to stay, then eventually you're here for 5 years. Just like Jono. You're here for 5 years. You're here for 10 years. You're here for 20 years. And you know where to go. Look at Carlos. He's going down getting himself some lobster at the market. He knows where to go. He knows what to do. He knows what it's all about. He's got it wired now. And it doesn't take all that much time. Maybe like it took me maybe 3-4 years to get it all wired. Because all I cared about in the beginning was, going out partying, having a good time, getting laid, that's all I really cared about. Now the people come in. Anyway, like I said, do me a favor, smash the like button. We've had about 30 people on today, which is not really that many at all. But we only have 18, what is it? Something like 18 thumbs up. So for those people who haven't clicked the thumbs up, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up, smash the like button. Do that. Help me out. Supposedly it helps. I don't really know. I don't know what to believe, but and at the end of the day, you want to hit it. You don't want to hit it, don't hit it. Up to you. Right? Anyway, I think we have reached the end of the stream. Thank you. That is all. Thank you. That is all. This is the end. That is all. We are done. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope I see you the next time. Which I'm not sure when that'll be. Maybe Tuesday? Something like that. Oops. There you go. Choke D Lel Jerk and mine. I put up a little members video yesterday. Just a little commemorative video from about 10 years ago in front of Fresh Mart. That away. was that? Okay, Jim, take it easy. But the Fresh Mart is this way, straight ahead. Starbucks used to be in front of Fresh Mart. Then it moved to right here. And Texas Chicken was just across the way. Now there's no more Texas Chicken. There's no more Burger King that's next to Starbucks on the other side. And there's no more Starbucks. It's Pacamara. Now Starbucks moved to the third place that away. But I put up a video of my kids having some sweets yesterday, and they were only, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. They were little whippersnappers. And yeah, that's in the members section. So if you want to check that out, be my guest, do so. Anyway, thank you very much. Again, choke delay, jerkin my, that's good luck and see you later. I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. And that is all. See ya.